I was halfway through my second cup of synth coffee when the emergency alert lit up every screen in the observatory. The buzz was immediate, phones vibrated, red lights strobed, sirens wailed from control towers. I looked up through the reinforced dome just as a dozen telescopes reoriented themselves to the anomaly. At first, I thought it was a glitch, a calibration error, maybe a rogue satellite drifting too close. But no, it was there. Hanging in orbit. Massive. Black. Silent. A new moon. No announcement. No heat signature. No detectable propulsion trail. Just there. I stood frozen, watching as automated systems tried to triangulate its mass and trajectory, but every calculation came back wrong. The thing refused to obey physics. LiDAR and radar scattered off its surface like it was absorbing the signals. Optical cameras could only pick up a featureless matte black sphere, smooth and cold, perfectly still above the Earth. And it wasn't on any NASA logs. No international agency claimed it. It hadn't passed through deep space observatories or tripped any long-range scanners. It had simply appeared. By the time I snapped out of my daze, the world was already in chaos. News anchors shouted over each other, live streams went viral, doomsday prophets screamed from the rooftops. Social media turned into a hive of panic and theories. Some said it was a weapon, others a sign, maybe a ship. But deep in my gut, I felt something more primal. This wasn't just an object. This was a presence. I kept staring at it through the telescope, unable to look away. Because no matter how impossible it sounded, I could feel it. That thing in the sky wasn't orbiting Earth. It was watching us. And I swear, just for a second, I felt it blink. 2 days after it appeared, the world gave it a name, the Eye Star. Not because anyone understood what it was, but because it felt right. You couldn't look at it and not feel watched. Every time I stepped outside and glanced up, I felt a weight behind my eyes, like something vast and ancient was studying every move I made. The world tried to go on. Flights resumed, factories restarted, but no one was truly calm. Sleep became elusive. People talked in hushed tones about vivid dreams, identical dreams, of standing alone in a black void, a single pulsing circle of light staring back. Children drew it without being prompted. Dogs and birds began acting strangely, reacting to unseen things. Earth's magnetic field fluctuated, electronics glitched in impossible ways, and quantum computers started spitting out gibberish, lines of symbols that resembled no known code or language. Then it happened. The surface of the eye, previously smooth and inert, shifted. I watched it live on the observatory feed. Concentric rings rippled outward from its center, like a lens dilating. For one horrifying moment, it truly did look like an iris focusing. Every screen, satellite feed, and live broadcast captured the moment Earth's newest moon blinked at us. And then came the signal. It didn't broadcast through normal means. It flooded every channel simultaneously: radio, gamma bursts, subsonic pulses, even neural interference on EEG monitors. It was everywhere. Every machine picked it up. Every animal reacted. Every human felt something stir. Our top linguists, code breakers, and AI systems were useless. No patterns. No logic. Just a relentless pulse, until one AI, trained for abstract associative cognition, returned a translation. 2 simple words. ***, be worthy. ***. The message repeated once. Then silence. The eye had spoken. And the test had begun. The disappearances started 3 days after the message. At first, they were written off as isolated incidents. A renowned physicist vanished from his lab in Geneva. A Buddhist monk meditating in the Himalayas was simply gone when his students returned. A war veteran in Nigeria, an artist in Tokyo, a hacker in Sao Paulo, each vanished without trace, security footage either corrupted or entirely blank. No struggle, no break-in, no bodies. Just absence. Then the pattern emerged. They weren't random. Every single missing person had made an impact, pushed boundaries, changed minds, defied norms. People who had shaped their fields or dared to dream beyond them. Some were famous. Others barely known. But they were all catalysts in their own right. And the moment we saw that, fear set in. It wasn't targeting the powerful. It was selecting the exceptional. Meanwhile, strange silver motes began falling from the sky. Microscopic particles, invisible to the naked eye, but detected in air samples, water, even inside human cells. Our instruments confirmed it, nanoscopic probes, self-replicating and adaptive. No aggression. Just observation. As if they were crawling through the genome of an entire species, mapping every flaw and every promise we carried. That's when she reappeared, Dr. Myra Lwan. My former colleague. My ex. She'd been among the first taken. She showed up at the doors of the Geneva Science Complex wearing the same clothes she vanished in, untouched by time. But something in her eyes was different. Deeper. Older. The eye is part of the tribunal, she whispered to me. It decides who joins the stars and who burns. Civilizations are tested every 1,000 years. Her voice trembled. This isn't an invasion, Mark. It's a judgment. And humanity, she said, had just stepped into the courtroom. Global government scrambled. The UN held emergency summits, and military alliances reignited old fears. Some leaders called for peace and study. Others demanded retaliation. But it was the Martian autonomous colony ship *Heindel* that made the first move, without permission, without hesitation. *Heindel* had always been a ghost ship. After the Martian uprising, it vanished into the asteroid belt with a crew of enhanced veterans, Old War AIS, and experimental tech the rest of Earth barely understood. Officially, it didn't exist. Unofficially, it was a ticking bomb. And Captain Ramirez, once a war hero, now branded a rogue, finally lit the fuse. She transmitted one sentence to Earth before cutting all links. ****, if it's watching, let's show it what we've become. ****. Then ***Heindel* fired the orbital lance, an antimatter spear wrapped in gravitic compression fields, capable of splitting small moons in half. It was aimed straight at the eye. The weapon took 30 seconds to travel from Mars' orbit to Earth's upper atmosphere. It never reached its target. The eye responded with no visible defense. The lance simply stopped mid-flight. Held in place, hovering like a child's toy. Then, in complete silence, it unraveled atom by atom, vanishing into mist. Earth felt the retaliation immediately. Tides surged and crashed. Storm systems erupted. Electromagnetic interference blanketed the globe. GPS collapsed. Satellites fell like burning hail. It wasn't an attack, it was a warning, precise and measured. Then came the dreams. Millions of people, across every continent, shared the same vision. A dark star, a ring of judges, an Earth standing alone, stripped of weapons, pride, and lies. And above us all, the eye. No longer just observing. Now calculating. We had shown our teeth. And it had shown us how small they really were. It spoke again, this time, not through screens or instruments, but directly into our minds. I was in the lab when it hit me, a sudden coldness behind my eyes, a silence deeper than thought. Then a voice, ancient, emotionless, vast enough to drown galaxies. ***, the cycle nears. Submit or be erased. Prove your defiance or prove your worth. Choose. ***. I collapsed. So did half my team. Around the world, people fell to their knees, some weeping, others screaming. There was no language barrier. Every person heard it in their own tongue, as if it had always lived inside us. And then the world fractured. The supplicants rose first, philosophers, religious leaders, pacifists. They believed the only path to survival was submission. Surrender our weapons, dismantle our military, show we could be trusted. That humility was our key to joining the stars. The defiance came next: soldiers, engineers, those who believed power was proof of worth. They rallied militias, built bunkers, hacked orbital defense networks. Only the strong survive, they chanted. Show no weakness. Civil wars nearly broke out. Entire countries split along ideology. Debates turned to riots. Peaceful protests became battlegrounds. Earth was tearing itself apart under the weight of a single cosmic ultimatum. But I couldn't join either side. Something about both paths felt wrong. The eye wasn't testing our power or our obedience. It was watching for something else. Something unpredictable. Human. I began collecting stories of sacrifice, invention, rebellion. Of moments where we refused binary choices. Where we created third paths in impossible situations. Because that was the truth of us. Not cowards. Not conquerors. But improvisers. Survivors. Dreamers with dirty hands and impossible hearts. No machine could calculate that. No tribunal could predict it. And maybe, just maybe, that was our only real chance. The eye opened a rift in the sky above the Pacific. Not metaphorically, literally star. A circular tear in space, vast enough to eclipse the sun, rippling with violet light and impossible geometry. It hovered like a wound in the fabric of reality, pulsing slowly, silently. Then things began to emerge. Ships, no, wreck star. Twisted vessels of alien origin, drifting like bones through the breach. And not just one or two. Hundreds. Charred hulls, shattered engines, ghostly remains of species we had never encountered. Some were barely recognizable as machines, organics fused with metal, bioluminescent fragments still flickering. They weren't invaders. They were remnant star. Survivors of tests like ours. Civilizations judged by the eye and found wanting. We recovered what we could. Shuttles rushed to intercept drifting debris, drones scoured scorched compartments. And in the hollowed-out command core of one derelict ship, we found a memory crystal. Cracked but still functional. It held no images. Just coordinates. And a word etched over and over in symbols we barely translated. Return. Dr. Myra and I stared at it for hours. These were not coordinates in known space. They pointed to a place long hidden, long forgotten. We fed them into deep-range scanners. The result shook me. The signal pulsed back, echoed from Earth star. A site beneath Antarctica. Miles below the ice. It didn't make sense. How could the source of this alien signal be buried on our own planet? Then Myra said something I'll never forget. We weren't chosen randomly. The eye isn't seeing us for the first time. It's remembering us. And in that moment, everything shifted. We weren't a new species under judgment. We were something else entirely. Something ancient. Something lost. And the eye had come to find out why star. The world held its breath as teams descended into the Antarctic abyss. The coordinates led us to a fissure deep beneath the Ross ice shelf, where ancient rock gave way to an impossible structure, massive, buried beneath layers of glacial stone, humming with dormant energy. It was not human. Not entirely. But it had our fingerprint all over it. A vault. Inside, we found technology beyond anything Earth had ever developed, machines grown, not built. A reactor older than the sun. And on the inner walls, carvings that matched prehistoric cave symbols found in France, Siberia, Australia. Cultures separated by continents and millennia had all drawn the same shape, the eye star. It wasn't just watching us. It had been here before star. The eye wasn't an alien god. It was part of a cycle, a galaxy-spanning system of checks and balances. Millennia ago, we had been part of it. A fledgling species given a role. But something happened. A collapse. A betrayal. Maybe even a choice. And Earth was sealed off, memory erased, reduced to myths and dreams. Now, we had reawakened. The eye hovered in the sky one final time. We didn't fire at it. We didn't beg. We uploaded everything, our music, wars, laughter, our greatest failures, our impossible comebacks. Not to prove our worth, but to remind it who we were. Star. The sky pulsed. The stars rearranged. And the eye blinked. Not in judgment. In recognition. Then it vanished. No explosion. No trail. Just a single burst of data left behind, a star map, leading far beyond the edge of our charts. A new path. An invitation. And for the first time in known history, humanity looked up, not in fear, but in certainty. We weren't being tested anymore. We were being *welcome back star.